Welcome to Work the Left Side. I am hyper hyped to announce it is the last episode of the year, which means we will be talking about the end of year awards. You've seen them on the socials. Everybody got involved. People were voting. And yeah, so we get to talk about the winners, the nearly winners, the runners up. And to have this conversation with us, I'm joined by my co-host on a regular basis, the awesomeness that is Dan. Hello, Dan.
No, then, mate. Nice to see you as always. Strange to be talking about something other than True Grit.
Yeah, I see it makes a little bit of a difference. And to make it feel a little bit more different as well, we are joined by the former Blackheart champion, the one, the only Mr. Henri Winter.
Dude, gentlemen, how are we doing?
5 by 5.
I didn't win any of these awards, by the way. So is that why this was like a consolation? I wasn't nominated for any of these awards. I won none of them. But as a consolation prize, I get to come and talk about them.
But dude, you associated via association. There's a lot of Blackheart talent involved. That got close to the end. That got close to the top 16. So you know, I mean, I like to sort of think you're rubbing shoulders. You're a winner by association.
I'll take it. Small wins.
I'd just like to thank the Academy for my award for Wrestling Bartender of the Year for the True Grit shows. JC did not give me this. I had to buy it myself, but cheers.
Yes, there we go. Watch. That's nearly as good as the Tom Campbell video that I get. Which will pop up at some point on this.
Name dropping future guests. Love it.
Exactly. You've got enough time. We might as well talk about this straight off the bat because I mentioned it. So obviously, yeah, if you've seen it on the socials, we had 7 categories. Like female wrestler, male wrestler, tag team of the year, future awards. People I took that on my own back. I didn't put that out to anyone. I was just like, I named 16 people who I thought were going to be the future of British wrestling. Future main eventers, people who put butts on seats, all the good stuff. Referee of the year, ring announcer of the year. So yeah, we'll start with ring announcer of the year because we've kind of just name dropped Mr. Campbell himself. But the final 4 were True Grit fans will know him, Mr. Bobby Cash. We had Nicky Hayth, we had Graham Pearce, and of course Mr. Tom Campbell. And for the 3rd year in a row, Mr. Tom Campbell was the winner.
The 3-peat, like Michael Jordan in his prime.
Yeah, three time triple threat Campbell.
Yeah, I love Tom. Tom's ace. I've known Tom a long time. Got to know him through going to North shows, probably back in 2018, I think it was. Lovely bloke and bloody good at his job. He's ring announced everywhere up to and including TNA. He did their Victory, I think it was Victory Road. They filmed in the Walker Dome when North do their annual Thunderstruck show. So Tom, more than deserving winner, but bloody good company. And shout out to Nikki, getting in the end of year awards as well. Love Nikki to death, been to loads of shows with her, and nice to see her reaping the rewards for putting in a lot of hard work.
So you know Nikki from Blackheart as well, James?
Yeah, it was an interesting one seeing her appear at all, but I think it's interesting we're talking about someone like Tom Campbell where you would push professionalism, and I think with Nikki you've got to push passion, like very different ends of like the spectrum from ring announcing. She's just all passion. Like she I was going to say she'd be there regardless, but she is essentially at every other show regardless of whether she's ring announcing. So it's been great to see her get involved. She's obviously doing UKW commentary as well, which is really cool. Yeah, it's nice when good people who love wrestling get opportunities. Like people really deserve them. So yeah, great to see Nikki get podium. Let's say podium. She got into that top 4.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, there's no top 3, it's top 4 on this one. So 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, all on the podium. Gold, silver, bronze. I don't know, brass medal.
Yeah.
But and obviously Bobby Cash, we know he entertains us every True Grit show, gets the crowd going, does his job.
Yeah, Bobby's been having to balance it with GM duties as well. So a double threat there with the ring announcing and the and the extra duties. And Bobby even had a match this year in Rise as well, which it was a pleasure to watch with Pop Punk Kid, or Jacob Hackenbeard as he's known over there. I've got to show my ignorance that I'm not familiar with Graham Pearce.
PCW guy, very, very cool. Kind of the voice of PCW now. Bang up job. It was just also a lovely human being as well. Nothing but love and respect for Graham. He's an amazing human. So yeah, very happy with this top 4. Any 4 were worthy winners, but yeah, the Triple T, 3-time Tom. He got the crown. He got the award. He did us a little video on the socials accepting the award and thanking everybody, but bigging everybody else up. Like, he won the award. And then he took a couple of minutes just to acknowledge he'd won it, but then spent 1 minute and 50 seconds just bigging everybody else up, which speaks volumes for the guy. So
it does. That's Tom in a nutshell. He's determined to bring everybody else up with him. He's not one of these who'll hit a point and shut the hatch on as he's climbing the ladder or kick the ladder out from anybody else. I've had the good fortune to dabble in a bit of commentary for ORW GPW down in Clacton, and I didn't even know that Tom knew I was doing it. But he came up to me at a show out of nowhere and said that he'd seen I was doing it and offered me some words of encouragement, just off his own back. And that was during a North show. So It speaks volumes for the guy. Absolutely love him to bits. And like I say, I'm sure I'd love Graham's work. I just need to either get to PCW or watch them. But there's just so much good wrestling going about, isn't there?
That's the problem. That's the issue. So yeah, that was the ring announcer.
Well, blow me down. 3-time, work the left side UK ring announcer of the year. Thank you so much. I genuinely thought you'd be sick of me by now. I want to give some love to the wonderful Final 4 and the company that we all kept. Graham Pearce. When you tell the story of Preston City Wrestling, the only pipes I want to hear it from on the night are Graham's, and I love you so much, matey. Nikki Hayth, first time in the final for Nikki Hayth. Nobody is jobbing to Nikki in 2026, or jobbing with Nikki, as her TikTok will tell you. And I think she's brilliant. She's taken to ring announcing like a duck to water. Fabulous work in 2025. And Bobby Cash. I need more places to book Bobby Cash in 2026. I think Bobby Cash is a wonderful ring announcer. More of him next year. Let's have a mad for it 2025, shall we, matey? I got to watch the AEW tapings in Manchester the other night, and I got to see the brilliant Francesca Oliver doing the announcing for the Ring of Honor Global Wars event, and I just burst with pride as part of a fraternity of ring announcers. I thought, to quote Carl Sagan, how lucky we are to live in this time where there are so many voices of choices that are just standing up and standing out on the scene. And I'm ever so proud to be a part of them, and ever so proud to stand amongst them and hold this. Honestly, it just means so much. Thank you to everybody I've worked with this year. Andrew Bowers has given me a home at North Wrestling. It means more than he'll ever know, and more than you'll ever know as well. And thank you so much. Big love to my new best friend Josh Barnett, who booked me for Bloodsport London this year. That was good fun. Big shout out to the team at Nebula Wrestling. I'll see you lot very soon. And to anybody that has allowed me to be their voice of choice, thank you. I really appreciate it. I've got big debuts coming next year for some lovely new places. I'm really excited about next year. But until then, have a wonderful Christmas. Have a very happy new year. And honestly, blown away to be here again. Thank you so very much. Let's have a cracker. Stay safe and love you. Bye.
Shout out to the Zebra Army. Let's shout out to the I want to say white and black stripes, but some people wear pink and black. Other people mix it up nowadays. It's not just your stereotypical ebony and ivory shirts. So, but regardless of what they're wearing, the job is the same. The saying goes, a great ref can make a mediocre match a quality match. Refs are so important. What they do cannot be understated. They are key to any show. I always try and show them love whenever possible. So the Final 4 in this one, we know, these guys. We know most of them. Obviously, SGB, Scott Graham Bell, Lee Thomas, Ref Katie, and Danny Mox from Fight Factory and other places. So You guys got any opinions on this one? You know, who would you have thought was going to win it, or are you happy with the winner?
I think just to double down on what you said as well, first about refs, I think, yeah, a good ref can elevate a mediocre match, but a poor ref can really kill a quality match, which is what you see more often than not. And like, thankfully, I feel like Brit Rest in general has got away from that horrible who's available and we can stick them in stripes booking that we sort of saw 5-6 years ago, where it was just any trainee or it was whoever didn't have a match in the second half that donned the stripes. And we have got some professional referees because there's so many good. This one, no, to answer your question, I couldn't pick a winner. I think when you laid out the long list, the 16, I was just like, it's almost not worth voting here because whoever wins this is absolutely deserving of winning it. Like, you could see some of the conversations that were happening. This was my favorite comments to read. Some of the conversations about like, oh, it should be this. Like, there was people putting over refs harder than any of the talent-based, as if they're not talent, but any of the like in-ring wrestler-based sort of votes. There was much more conversation about the refs, and I think it really shows how valued in the community that referees, good referees, really are. Like, they all deserved it. Obviously, we've got a deserving winner, but I think genuinely any one of them, and it was nice to see each of them big up each other as well. Like, they were all very humbly saying, well, not me, maybe this guy instead, or maybe this girl instead. They were all pretty keen to put each other over. It was it was class to see.
Yeah, obviously, shout out to Neil, works Blackheart. You know, he's a staple of British wrestling around this area. You know, he was in the top 16. You know, there's loads of names: James Greenwood, Steve Grimshaw, so many people. Like I said, any of the top 16 would have been worthy winners. It was a pain. I felt bad getting it down to final four, but very cool final four. But the winner was obviously, you know, the king of the ref bump himself, Ref SGB, Mr. Bell. So yeah, shout out to Lee as well though, because you know I would have been nice for if Lee had won it based on his heel turn at True Grit. You know, we could have had a heel ref as the winner.
Yeah, Lee might have kicked Scott in the nuts, but Scott can turn around and say, "Yeah, but I'm referee of the year." So, yeah, like you said, the standard of refereeing is just ridiculous. And you know, I was going to defer to you anyway, Mr. Winter, just because you're actually in the ring. You know how it affects things. I ain't got a fucking clue. Yeah. You know, I'm just some knobhead who watches it and talks about it. So I don't really know firsthand what it takes. But if something's off in a match, as a fan, you can see it. You might not understand why it's not working or why something's gone a bit wrong or whatever. But if a referee's not on the ball and too slow to the count or something like that, you can pick up on it. And it just speaks volumes that I can't remember that happening on any show that I've watched, big or small, in years. So, yeah, credit to the Zebras. They're all fantastic. I'm aware of all, like the ring announcers, I'm aware of all of these guys, at least by reputation. I don't think I've ever seen Danny Marks ref live, but I know enough of him by reputation. But yeah, just that. In fact, that says a lot as well, that I've heard of a referee without actually seeing him on a card. So yeah, we've definitely come a long way.
That's it. Like you said, I second that. I can't think of an example in recent years, over the last several years, where we've questioned something that a referee's done, or something's not been done right, or something's been ruined. It's just, yeah, everything is as it should be. You know, they are performing, or they're doing their job to the highest capabilities, to the quality they bring on every show is, yeah, like I said, the fact that we haven't seen any mistakes or anything, I've not even really thought about it until you said that, and it's kind of like, shit, yeah. You know, at one point, I kind of would have expected to see a few fuck-ups every now and again, and it is what it is. But
yeah, just human error.
Yeah, but you don't see it anymore, and it's kind of like, oh, shit. You know, the next time I see one, I'll be like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Very
another shout to Scott as well. We've had the two sort of non-in-ring competitor awards for the second time. Oh.
Sorry.
It's all right. I thought you choked or burnt yourself or something. You okay, love?
Got too many toys. I'm surrounded by toys. Fine, dude. Yeah,
go careful which ones you put on camera.
That's a different video.
I was working the right side. Sorry.
I was going to say Scott's had a match this year as well on the Nash Boat Show. He wasn't under his name though. He was called Bandicoot 2 because Ace and Nash are convinced that he's Jack Bandicoot's brother. But there we are. I just thought I'd throw that out there as well. If that's footage ever surfaces and
Yes.
makes it onto a platform, apparently
It should be. It should be. I remember reading the True Grit newsletter to sort of say that's why Nash is allowed into the Rumble, because he has allowed JC access to the show, and it will be popping up somewhere.
Yeah, will it though? Or will JC be like, pull a Vince McMahon and just pay for the tape library and chuck it away?
So that's the ring announcer, the referee. This is where off the top of my head I'm going to have to try and pick what we'll do next. We'll talk about the Future Award. As I say, I did put this one out to the poll. I did have a long list. I had 16 names based on people that I've spoken to, people that I've seen live myself, and who I just think are the future of British wrestling. You know, they're going to go somewhere. They've got the potential to go somewhere. You know, if they keep doing what they're doing now, the sky's the limit kind of thing. The final four for this one was George Hunter, Joe Cedric, Chris Mason, and Evan Bishop. Lots of other names in there as well. Cliff Harrison was in there. Huge shout out to Cliff, love Cliff. But yeah, for final four, mate, I was just like sort of saying, you look at those four guys, you know, Mr. Winter, you know these four guys on a regular basis now. All four have been brought into Blackheart for the reason that I'm talking about, I would presume. So yeah, you know firsthand what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think first of all, it's worth pointing out that weird overlap. We're talking about Future Star, and a lot of these were in the running and were named in just male wrestler. Like, these are like young, whether it's in years or within career, and we're already seeing them main event, particularly the likes of Joey Flip Flops, Joe Cedric, and George Hunter. We're seeing them really sort of rocket to the top of cards. Evan as well, unfortunately picked up an injury and sort of curtailed the tail end of his year, but and Chris, being a bit younger, is a little bit slower to that top of the game. But we're talking about guys that are already at the top of cards, and that's sort of testament to the quality of wrestler that we're talking about. And let's not forget, I think we sometimes play down Brit Wrestling. We talk about like, oh, are we talking about the future of British wrestling? But for years we've been talking about the future of British wrestling being Leon Slater, and it turns out that's a lie, because Leon Slater is just the future of wrestling. So like, can we really? I think we should drop the British thing. I think we are just at the minute talking about potential future of wrestling, like the athleticism of George Hunter, the all round that is Joe Cedric, the potential still in Chris Mason. We're talking about a 17-year-old kid still, and Evans' athleticism when he gets back up and running. Like, this really could be the future of wrestling we're talking about, not British wrestling. I don't think we should be putting them in a box like that, to be fair, because the future's obscene looking at just those four. But if you open up to the 16 and there was people missed from the, like, it's obscene the position that we're in at the minute, to be fair.
Dan, what's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah. So I'm going to show my ignorance again. It's a big week for me, this. I've never seen Chris Mason or Joe Cedric wrestle, which is part of the reason why I'm still clamoring to get down to Blackheart. I do need to do it. Been on my list for a while. We were talking off air. It's just a case of the dates lining up. But the thing you were saying there about the talent pool in British wrestling and the age people come through, you look at places like Blackheart showcasing these people, and Pursuit, who are obviously big contributors to this channel with the guests and whatnot, and just the level of talent up and down the country. It puts me in mind of the World of Sport era, when you saw so many wrestlers coming through, even if it was just kids, I say, 16, 17, 18, 19-year-olds coming through as, say, like Big Daddy's tag partner. But one of those was the British Bulldog. It was Young David, it was stuff like that. I went on a big run for a podcast, like watching a load of the old stuff, and when you saw some of the youngsters coming through, it was like the talent pool ran so deep and there were so many shows running. Well, it kind of feels like we're getting some ways back to that. But now you've got guys like Evan Bishop and George Hunter, who are the two that I've seen live and seen wrestle each other. Nick was stood next to me during that match. How long did it take for me to actually get the top of my head back on after it had been blown off?
Dude, I just, it was a long while. It was unreal. Even during the next match, still.
George is a joke. If we're talking, let's be fair. George is an absolute joke because he's still so new and so great. Like, you forget sometimes how new George Hunter is. It's an absolute joke how good he is. Like, I'm not going to play down Sedgwick. I mean, it's nice actually for you, Dan, that you've not seen Joe Sedgwick and Chris Mason, because that means you've got them to see. That's exciting. But someone like Joe Sedgwick, all right, his dad runs UK wrestling. Like, he's been in a wrestling ring most of his life, probably. He's got the opportunity 7 days out of 7 to get in a wrestling ring. You almost expect that one of the Sedgwicks was going to end up on that list. Like, that makes sense. Chris has been training for so long, like, from being a real little kid at UK wrestling. Like, those guys sort of make sense. But George Hunter feels like he just went, might try wrestling, got in and was class. Like, it just happened instantly. It's an absolute joke.
What was it? I was about to say the Matty Carter episode. I think Matty was on about it. He talked about George, and he was kind of like, he likened him to Kurt Angle. It took me back for a second. I was like, mate, how quickly he took to wrestling. The only other person I can liken it to is like that first year for Kurt Angle. It is ridiculous. He's just taken to it like his DNA was made for this shit.
100%. He's obviously got some physical gifts. He's athletic. He's looked after himself. He's in good shape. He's unbelievably handsome. Let's give him that as well. That's just good dumb luck. But he's picked it up. He's picked it up so quickly and just gets it. Like, obviously, chatting to people after they've worked him at Blackheart and stuff. It's an enjoyable evening. There's no friction. It's just like, he's so happy to do whatever. He gets it. It makes sense, and he's just so good, so quick, and a lovely bloke.
And that buckshot 450. Who thinks of that?
All the best moonsault ever into a spinal tap. It's just like, if that's the only way I can describe it. If that's a correct description, but that's how I kind of describe it to people. It's like, you know how great the BME is. Oh yeah, you know how great the spinal tap is. Yeah, put them together.
Oh, he needs to call it the best ever spiral tap.
But George didn't win. The winner.
No, I was just about to segue into that.
Yeah, exactly. The winner. We're bigging up George, but no, he was pipped. It was the one, the only. I've said nothing but great stuff about him. Everybody says great stuff about him on any show that he's ever been on. He just gets it for me as well. It's not just his in-ring stuff, it's his mic work, it's his heelishness. He's just so confident in the ring that he can trash talk at the same time, which is a rare commodity for a lot of people. The winner was Mr. Evan Bishop, and I ain't got no issues with that.
No. What's interesting about Evan, Sorry,
I just wanted to quickly talk about that match at True Grit again, just one more time, because those two got given a really difficult task of going out on a show with multiple established storylines. They went out as a sponsored match by Nikki, who nominated for Ring Announcer of the Year. Nikki here, love her to bits again. Actually, because she gave us this match as well. These two had to go out with no backstory, no build-up, just the sponsored match. Here they are, two young lads. And they went out there and absolutely fucking killed it. But Evan had the courage and the talent to go out there and keep chirping. He didn't get caught up in anything and diminish himself or anything like that. George was brilliant because, it takes two to tango. George has all the athleticism, all that. But Evan had the chirp, and he came out, and within seconds, people knew this guy's a prick. We are booing this man.
Yeah.
And that was just another level. And to then keep that and put it into that kind of match. Hang on, just keeping that back on before I blow my own head off again talking about it. Yeah, just phenomenal. So yeah, Evan Bishop, and then he goes and does the same at Planet a couple of weeks later. Very different crowd, very different circumstances, still giving it all that, and just been a fantastic knobhead. Absolutely love the guy. Can't wait for him to come back. Sorry, over to you, Mr. Winter.
No, I was just going to say, I think it's interesting how popular his heel work is, because what we've seen at Blackheart is he's come in as a babyface and he's done the same job. Like he's instantly become a crowd favourite. Obviously, the athleticism and again being a good-looking young lad, that helps with any crowd. But he's come in, his athleticism, his ability to work, and his understanding has done the exact same as his understanding and his ability as a heel. It's interesting again to see a kid go into True Grit, and I'm not going to talk up True Grit like it's WWE, but we're talking about the hierarchy of local promotions. That's where True Grit sits. So to go into somewhere like True Grit, where whatever you view the show as, it's got JC, people are like, oh, we don't want to disappoint JC because of his rep locally. Like that's a guy you want to think you've done well. And to have the balls to be like, nah, this is how I'm going to be, especially when he just isn't that human. Like, I've always been a decent heel, but I'm a prick in real life. Like, Evan's a lovely, lovely lad. So, like, he is having to and do that, which makes it all the more impressive that he's on and he just understands what's happening. Like, he just gets it. It just makes sense to him, and he knows what he's doing. He knows exactly when and how, and he absolutely smashes it, to be fair. It's a shame that he's been injured. It's a bad one, but it shows how hard he bangs that he busted himself up like that, to be fair.
But
it's going to confuse me so much seeing him. Sorry, Nick. It's going to confuse me so much seeing him. I think I'm on a lag here, mate, so you carry on and I'll just fill in between.
As I say, we have his return to look forward to. That's the thing, obviously, yeah, everyone, it sucks that he's out injured, but yeah, he's going to get the hugest reaction when he comes back. Man, we're talking like freaking like John Cena at the Rumble kind of thing, or Trips kind of. He's going to get a huge reaction. I think it's going to blow his socks off. I think he knows he's appreciated, but I think the reaction he gets when he first comes back, mate, is nothing but love.
He also, I think what really tells you who Evan is, horrific injury. I can't remember if it's that he's cracked his pelvis or it's a really horrible injury. But he was at Blackheart beginning of the month because he wants to sit and watch the shows. Like, he wants to be around. Like, he went up our balcony stairs on crutches and sat in those. He's not comfortable with that injury, but he wants to be around it. Like, he wants to sit and soak in. Right. And to your point about True Grit, he's gone in and gone, right, well, this is what I need to do because I understand what a crowd wants and what I can bring to that. And he gets that from being at shows. He's coming back again the beginning of the year before he's injured, but it really shows the effort and like that passion for it. It's not just God-given ability. And it's the same with George. It's the same with Joe. They're not just blessed with this. They've put the effort in. But yeah, Evan, just phenomenal kid.
Sorry, Dan, go.
I was just going to say it'd be really weird when I finally do get to Blackheart and if he's still face, and I'm going to be like, hang on, I have to cheer him now. Yeah, that was a lot of build-up for not a lot I was going to say, really, but that injury sounds fucking awful.
Yeah, bad one.
Yeah, so nothing but love for Evan. Obviously, speedy recovery. We look forward to having you back in the ring and doing what you do. The next award, we will shout out we'll shout out the Tag Team of the Year award. The winners are the two-time Tag Team of the Year award winners, the Brand. Again, they won it twice. Nothing but love for the Brand. They're putting themselves out there now as well. They want to up their game. So all the respect in the world. They're kind of going out of their comfort zone. They're trying to get out. They're going to Future Shock, I believe, like training. So yeah, they know, they're knuckling down. They're working hard. They might win it 3 times. But the final 4 were the Brand, Firing Squad, 21 Union, which is Joe Sedgwick and Seb Mercer. And the other team were at 2, which are an amazing team who are just smashing it everywhere in the country. So again, 4 different teams. And any thoughts on this one before the announcements?
I was again ignorant. I've said before, I've never seen Sedgwick, so I've never seen, never seen 21 Union, never seen Firing Squad. Have finally seen the brand. Was looking up to see the brand over at LWF when they came perilously close to Yorkshire earlier in the year. And Act 2, seen them for TNT, seen them for True Grit. Every time I see them, I want to see more. I'll be honest, would have been my pick. I know I've not done that for anything else, but just because they're the team I've seen the most out of the four. I would very much love to see more of Act 2 over on this side of the Pennines.
Mr. Winner.
Yeah, similarly, I think if we're gonna do the including bias for me, it was 21 Union. Like obviously having seen Joe Cedric from being a kid and seeing I saw Seb Mercer taking his first sort of training session. So seeing those guys sort of from where they've come from and where they are now, it's phenomenal. Act 2 are brilliant. We've seen them. I think Firing Squad offered something different to everyone else that's on there. The brand they've definitely upped it. And again, we were talking about Evan before, getting himself out and going to shows, and that's where the brand are at now. They've sort of really stepped up that, weirdly promoting their own brand and getting out and doing stuff. It was nice actually when me and you were down at UK Wrestling to see them work singles as well, because I think it's easy to see a team as a team, but getting to watch them both wrestle individually was cool. So yeah, my pick personally would have been, and with some heavy bias, would have been 21 Union, but I think it was another one when we got to the final four. It was all four of them have done something to earn getting into that spot. So whoever comes out with it, it's deserving in whatever way.
Yeah, I mean, again, no bias. Like I say, love the brand, glad they won. I was a little bit heartbroken, like Crash Boat weren't in there or Meat Wagon weren't in there because of what's happened this year with both of those teams. I would have loved, I could have rigged it in any way, shape or form. I would have been torn as to whether Meat Wagon or Crash Boat won Tag Team of the Year, just because I say Crash Boat are no more and Meat Wagon are no more. So emotionally, it would have been a fitting end.
Yeah, it would, but this is why democracy doesn't work. Oh, that might be the most dickish thing I've ever said. I don't mean it. But yeah, all deserving winners. Like I say, I can only speak to two of the teams, but thoroughly enjoy both of them. So yeah, no qualms with that. Like you say, it would have been nice to give one of the teams a send off, but the brand two times, because that's what they do. So yeah, but yeah, just take a second just to say thank you to Meat Wagon and Crash Boat for everything they have done for tag team wrestling in the UK. Two amazing teams, four awesome human beings, and they will be missed. So next we have, this was a weird one because it ended in a draw, but we have Female Wrestler of the Year. Speaking of rigging it,
dude,
is it a weird one or is it just perfect?
It's perfect. It's weirdly perfect. Couldn't have
been more perfect.
I was just like, I knew people were going to think, he's done this on purpose. I honestly, genuinely didn't. Like, 1-1 Twitter, 1-1 Facebook. I was like, I cannot make this shit up. But yeah, it was the perfect outcome for the year that they both have had. You could probably guess who the winner was before you even announced it based on what we're talking about. But the final four were Saxa, amazing, awesome person over the Liverpool side. He's absolutely tearing it up. She's been working TNT. She works Wrestle Island, a lot of promotions over there. It's her first year really out of training, and she's hit the ground running. Done an amazing job to get to the final four. We have the True Grit Women's Champion and various other promotions champion, Alexis Falcon. And then we had Holly Barlow and Lana Austin. So they were your final four. Rio has won this for the last 2 years. She didn't make the final four, so we knew we was going to get a new winner this year. And yeah, it was Lally. We didn't just get one winner. Or did we get one winner? They're both just perfect together. It counts as one person. Yeah. So the winner was Lana Austin and Holly Barlow.
Two really fantastic wrestlers.
Yep.
Absolutely love them as a team and singles. I'm surprised Holly is still going after getting slapped by Big T in the True Grit Rumble. That was when you talk about moments that just like make a whole room, you can just feel the air go out of it. That was in left bank, like fucking hell. Can't believe he's just done that. But to bring sort of Lally together as just a concept and make it just both of them just so perfect, and taking it across promotions up and down the country is just phenomenal work, and they both deserve it. Based on that, Alexis has had great success across the board. Latest belt she's chasing now is the Progress Women's Championship, I think, after the unboxing show over the weekend. True Grit Women's Champion. Name a promotion, Alexis has been or is, or very shortly will be, a champion. Saxa, again, I've not actually, I think I've seen Saxa wrestle maybe once on a TNT show I caught somewhere earlier in the year, but another wrestler who I hear a lot of noise about and a lot of really good reputation. So can't wait to see Saxa in action properly and take proper notice, so to speak. But yeah, Lana and Holly, what a duo.
Mr. Winter.
Yeah, it was the perfect fairy tale ending, wasn't it? Well, I'm sure Holly thinks it was the perfect fairy tale ending. I'm sure Lana despises us that this is how it's gone. I think she'd be more pissed about this outcome than if she'd lost. Like, I think this will affect her more than if she'd not even placed. But yeah, I mean, it had to be like. It's hard to separate them after this, like last year or so, into two entities, but like both should have won it alone. Like, we talk about Alexis Falcon. Alexis Falcon's been wrestling for 45 years and she's still in her 20s. I'm pretty sure. Like, what a bet! Like, just for as long as there's been Brit Rest, it feels like there's been Alexis Falcon, and wherever you are, it feels like there's Alexis Falcon, and then wherever she is, she's successful as well. Like, I feel like that tells its own story. Absolutely phenomenal. And again, I've saying there's only the three of them that I've seen and that I've actually met, but all phenomenal humans, which is nice as well. We're not talking about people that are just really good in ring, like people that are really sound and deserve the credit that they're getting. But yeah, it just couldn't have been more perfect. I think when you posted it, within the first few words of like, people aren't going to believe this, I was like, this is the perfect result. It's happened, and it's the absolute perfect result. I don't know if there's some sort of Facebook group somewhere where people have manipulated this in the background, but if they have, they deserve a medal, because it is exactly how it should finish.
I was happy with it, so I was kind of like, yeah, that's fine. But yes, like I say though, I mean, again, it's an amazing category. We talk about this Final Four. Like I say, Rio's won it for the last 2 years. Nina Samuels, so many other names obviously that weren't in there. Lily Winters, Melissa Fierce. It was just crazy. It was a very strong category. It was one of the ones where you look at it, you think like the top 32 could have been potential winners. So everybody's absolutely smashing it at the minute. So it's just great to see.
It's the theme of the awards, really, isn't it? Everybody's absolutely smashing it. Every award could have had 8, 10, 12, 20, 30 winners.
Exactly. So, and if you don't know who some of these people are, go check them out. That's another thing I want to stress about the awards. It's not there to, obviously, you got to vote for who you know about, but hopefully if you see somebody you don't, you're like, I don't know, if their names are popping up in here, they must be doing something right. Google, YouTube them, go check them out. And then broaden your horizons. So much awesome stuff out there.
Before we jump off from female wrestlers, can I personally shout out Alfie Rogue as well for the last year, 18 months that she's had? Because again, seeing her as I don't think she'll mind me saying, as a sort of nervy, anxious young girl at UK wrestling, not sure about what she's doing, to what she is and what she's doing now. Like, and I think a lot of us knew that was in there back in the day. We all saw her break her arm and finish a match, and you sort of go, that's a sign that this person's got more in them. But yeah, from a journey perspective, like where Alfie Rowe's gone is obscene. So yeah, I just wanted from a personal standpoint, shout out Alfie for a placement.
Yeah, no, so again, I was trying to think of names, and I'm a fucker for it when I'm on the spot, I can't think of names, everything just goes blank. Alfie was so close to making the top 4. Yeah, she's awesome. She's just won the Tidal Women's Championship this month. So she's got the Tidal belt, and she obviously always delivers at Planet. She delivers everywhere that she is at. We desperately want her back at True Grit. Her moment in the Rumble, jumping over after Dee was one of the most memorable things from that show. And for Alfie not to be used more. Again, we're just fans. I don't know what's what, whether it's scheduling or availability. But if the stars do align and we can get Alfie back at True Grit, man, yeah, I'd be hyped for that.
Same. The last Planet show I went to, funnily enough, after the show, I was waiting around just to say hi and bye to people as you do. And Alfie had the biggest group of kids just waiting to say hello and to meet Dee Dee and all that. And it was just great to see Alfie. Alfie's incredible. Absolutely love our Alfs. One wrestler I did want to give a quick shout to as well, and this is on the back of I mentioned Progress, but also I suppose kind of future award mixed in with the female wrestler of the year is Maddie Morgan, who I saw at LWF. And spoiler alerts for unboxing, made a Progress debut yesterday. That is absolutely meteoric rise. Wow. I think Alfie's like Maddie's like 18, 19.
18, just turned 18.
Yeah, to come that far and to be on like a Progress show at that age is just mental. So she was to watching Maddie Morgan.
She was in the 16 for the Future Awards. So yeah, she had been spotted. She's on the radar. Next, we'll save the promotion of the year till the end, because obviously everywhere needs somewhere to work. So we'll do Male Wrestler of the Year next. We had the final 4 of Kemper, Billy O'Keefe, Adam Bolt, and Ryan Paul Davies, Mr. RPD, the Natural Born Fighter. Again, 4 very strong. Evan and George were so close to making the final 4 as well, because as you said before, they weren't just in the Future Awards. They were in, the Male Wrestler of the Year award as well. If Evan wasn't in the same poll, in the same group as RPD, Evan was making this final 4, which is crazy. So, but yeah, that's your final 4. What was your thoughts?
Really strong final 4. RPD, again, not somebody I've seen live a couple of times, but doesn't get over this side of the Pennines as much as we'd like him to be quite honest, but making waves everywhere. Heard absolutely great things, seen a couple of matches here and there online. Absolute cracking. Billy O'Keefe, seen a lot of him in True Grit. I've seen him wrestle on places like Kapow as well. Always brings it. Absolutely love Billy. Kemper, international 6'7" heavyweight goth father, True Grit champion, done all of that, having a massive feud up in North, absolutely killing it. And this is gonna shock some people, but Adam Bolt, because of the shows I've made it to this year and just the year he's had, the body of work he's put together, he is my personal wrestler of the year. The lad just is fucking incredible. Every time he wrestles. And he moaned before that I say something nice about him and then I insult him.
No, so
he's just quality.
Yeah.
He really is. He really is. He's so good at being a twat. That's in a loving way. And people won't believe it, but I'm pretty sure he actually does like me, really. Yeah, great final 4. Happy for RPD to win. I know he's putting a lot of work over a lot of years. Again, somebody I've always heard and spoken highly of in all circles. So, yeah, you couldn't really go wrong with a final 4 like this.
Exactly. Mr. Winter, obviously, the standout that is Billy O'Keefe. He's one of your poster boys at Blackheart.
I mean, Billy's a joke as well, isn't he? Look, Billy, I mean, we're talking about. It's just, do you know what? I'm going to say this, and I don't think he'll mind. I'm so glad that he's had to shave his head because he looks fantastic. He's handsome. He's talented. He can work. Like, God's taken his hair early, and he absolutely deserves it. Do you know what I mean? Like, there needed to be some balance because it just wasn't fair. It just was not fair. It's a ridiculous thing. But Billy, again, what a guy! Like, he's such a nice guy. Like, he's got all the time in the world. He tends to be one of the first that turns up and one of the last that disappears. He's happy to do whatever you want. You can stick Billy in a dreadful comedy match and he'll find a way to make that work. You can stick him in a 45-minute Broadway and he'll find a way to make that work. He just gets it. And again, he's been around for an awful long time, and you forget how young he still is. But yeah, Billy's phenomenal. I mean, there's a reason that the first show that Blackheart did back in 2020, Billy O'Keefe was on that card then, and he's somehow got better in the 5 years. He's obviously under the learning tree of Sean Only, which is a nice place for a young up and coming talent to be. And I think that's really the story of, from my perspective, of this Final Four. You look at Adam Bolt's last year, 18-month rise from being sort of under the learning tree of different folks, but particularly from a heel perspective, how he's really stepped up and out of shadows, essentially. I think you could say the same. Kemper's under the learning tree of Slater, which again is one of the best places that you can be. Billy's got Sean Only, as we said, and RPD's his own bloody learning tree. Let's be fair. Like, he is a tree unto himself, which is probably why he walked through groups. Once people needed to vote for him, the votes were there. Like, I don't think there's any value in the three of us chuckle folks talking about RPD. Like, RPD stands for himself. Like, it sort of goes without saying. So I'm going to spend more time bigging up the three more up and coming guys who, realistically, the three of them could still have been in sort of future star. So it's obscene that they're the three finalists for Wrestler of the Year, because again, no one looked out of place. It didn't look like, oh, somehow this kid squeaked through, or somehow this like, all three of them deserved to be rubbing shoulders. And if you think again about people that didn't make it through, that, I think that tells its own story. So yeah, what a phenomenal place for British wrestling to be.
It is ridiculous. I mean, I started off with this one. I think we started off about 120 names. We whittled it down to the final four, but I started with about 120, 130 names. And I know I still missed people off, and I'm sorry for the people that I missed off. But I hit that 130 mark, and I was like, that's it. You know, people are going to get sick of this shit at some point. But I was like, right, I need to get these down. But that speaks volumes within itself. But yeah, you know, obviously, yeah, me and Dan, it's no secret. Anybody who's ever watched Work the Left Side, True Grit shows, hypes, reviews, we love Adam Bolt. Adam Bolt has had an amazing year. You know, for me, all four of these guys, I'm not going to say I couldn't have picked one. Adam Bolt's had an amazing year. You know, he's made that belt at True Grit the Pride title. The Intercontinental belt is the Workers' belt. He has put on banger after banger. He has worked with everyone. He's told stories. He's got us emotionally invested. Billy O'Keefe has been rubbing shoulders with the main eventers at True Grit. He's main eventing at Blackheart. You know, he's mixing up with Vuzic, Riley Nova, Brady Phillips. He's having matches at Blackheart which remind wrestlers why they are fans. You know, the Billy O'Keefe, Joe Sedgwick, Seb Mercer, Mega Calibre match. Somebody told me, you know, they was able to just detach, sit back, and enjoy it. A wise man said, you know. So
I think I heard that on the Work the Left Side episode I listened to today.
Yeah. So, and I sort of say, you know, that is, that would be the Billy episode. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. And then obviously Kemper's Kemper, you know, I've been marking out over Kemper since day one-ish to see his rise. I've spoken to him a couple of times. The difference in his confidence from the first episode he did to the second episode is totally different human being. You know, he's just, yeah, you know, he's the final product now, and he's only gonna keep getting bigger and bigger. Not height-wise, thankfully, but in stature, in reputation, in, you know, workload. And then, yeah, like I said, Mr. RPD, you know, handpicked to be in this year's Bloodsport, GCW's Bloodsport. You know, he's work in progress now as well as doing what he does at, you know, GPW, at Odyssey, at Wrestle Island, at TNT, just everywhere and anywhere is just, yeah, you know, this is the point now where I'm getting overhyped, so I'm just going to chill myself the fuck out. But yeah, so congratulations to Mr. RPD. We have the last award being Promotion of the Year. And again, same with the wrestlers, start off with so many promotions, had to get them whittled down. While I'm thinking about it, before we go into the final four, I just want to shout out Bolton Town Wrestling. If this had been a Facebook-only poll, Bolton Town Wrestling would have made the final four. They lost it over on X, but you know that speaks volumes for their fan base. Their fans came out and spoke and voted for Bolton Town Wrestling, so shout out to them. But the final four: True Grit Wrestling, Wrestling in Newcastle, TNT, and Fight Factory. For a kind of decent coverage of promotions, I'd say as well, kind of thing. We've got like obviously Liverpool side covered, we've got the Geordie side covered, we've got the Yorkshire side covered, and then we had like Lincoln covered as well.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I've only actually seen True Grit live. Wrestling Newcastle, I've known Benji for quite a while through going to North shows and chatting to him there and stuff. So I will get there. Again, it's just time and things syncing up. That's all it is. TNT, bit more of a tricky one to get to across, crossing the Pennines from York to Liverpool again, just a matter of time. But they've had an absolute banger year. I watched most recently their big weekender where they had 4 shows in 2 days, culminating in the deathmatch tournament. Absolutely bang! Every show something different. It was like a mini collective almost. Running out of, I think, is it Hangar 34? They run out of over there in Liverpool. It's called. Yeah.
Hangar 34. It was, yeah.
Yeah. The only unknown to me, I know they're a promotion, but I've not seen any of the stuff, was Fight Factory. And you were saying before, Nick, about if you don't know, go search it out. Well, guess what I'm going to be doing? Because to come out on top of this poll with 3, I'm not meaning to do anybody disservice when I say this, but 3 heavy hitters, like True Grit, TNT, and Win. For Fight Factory to come out on top, they must be putting out something fantastic.
Well, when you've got Rogan as your champ and he's having matches against HMD and Jack Maxwell.
Yeah, all right, I'm in.
There we go. That's it. Mr. Winter, obviously Blackheart was in this. They did get the votes. The fans that did come out. They got a bit of support. It was just in a... I'm trying to think off the top of my head now what group there was in. I think they might have been in the same group as TNT or something like that. So
yeah, I think we spoke about this. I think in Champions League people talk about group of death. I think each of them were group of death.
There was no easy group.
I think Bolton sort of epitomised that, because I think Bolton Blackheart probably of a level, like neither really threatening the other, but like that doesn't account for the fervent nature of like the local fan base. Like when that fan base get behind, like it's obscene that what can happen. Yeah, I mean, for me, like you said, huge heavy hitters. Like it was nice having the spread, like you said, especially having a Yorkshire-based promotion get right to the end. But Fight Factory, I think with Fight Factory, I think it's consistency that's probably got them to where they've been. I can remember being at a Fight Factory show 8-9 years ago, and it was as good as the shows that they're putting on now, and they've just continued to pump out quality show after quality show, as well as obviously producing their own talent as well. They're bringing through their own talent that are then going out and doing great things, as well as being able to cherry pick and bring in talent from elsewhere. So it's a bit of a perfect storm for Fight Factory. I think they've been consistently just putting out some of the best stuff. It's a really fun show if people can get over, run by some really nice people. But yeah, fantastic to see Fight Factory, who, I think you would say probably at the beginning were just happy to be in. I think everyone was happy to be included, but I can't imagine Fight Factory were guaranteeing themselves. They weren't high-fiving during the early rounds about job done. So yeah, to see that the swell has really come and the people came out for them was fantastic. But TNT, we don't need to talk about TNT. I think everyone if you're watching this podcast, you're probably aware of TNT. You should be. If you're not, you should probably turn it off and go and watch more wrestling. I think Win you could probably put in that category as well, and definitely locally, True Grit is. I think I would put True Grit as from West Yorkshire. I think they're the big dog, in my opinion. So those all sort of made sense, and then so to see Fight Factory, who absolutely just deserve the consistency alone to have come through was fantastic. But again, anyone could have won, and this is the beauty of wrestling. There's so many places. I mean, no wonder there's so many people. You've got 130 long short list of Wrestler of the Year because there's so many shows that need talent, and rather than that situation we had before of you had one guy doing 12 shows over a weekend, we've now got this talent of like, oh, you're not available. Don't worry, next up is as good. If anything, but I think companies are going to have to start collabing and putting on more shows just to give people reps, because it is obscene the amount of talent, and each of the shows is using them so well, and in so many different ways. That's what's really cool, that they're all of these shows are very different and have a different feel and vibe, and it's mint in it.
Exactly, exactly. North is a shout as well. North have won this, I believe, for the last 2 years. So again, this year we're getting very different winners to what we've had over the last couple of years. So it's just different people are leveling up. True Grit has had an amazing year. Just to take a second to acknowledge that. They've signed up for the year for Triller. They are putting on show after show after show. They've just started the weekly episodic. So, they've put out 3 episodes currently, which will be recorded in York, and go watch them on Triller if you haven't. And then, wrestling in Newcastle. The thing about Win is, for me, it's ridiculous. 10 quid a ticket. I keep banging on about this because I still can't get over the fact it's 10 quid. It's £7.50 if you buy 4 tickets. You can get 4 tickets for 30 quid. And they've got Rampage Brown on the shows. They've got Brady Phillip on the shows. They've got Adam Bolt. They've got Kemper. They've got Shreddy. They've got BT Gunn. They've got Levi. They've got Melissa Face. We're not talking like, up and comers. We're talking the best of the best on the scene. For a tenner, it's just, it's mental. And then obviously, Fight Factory, who we love Fight Factory. Shout out to Becca and Hayden, everybody involved over at Fight Factory. Just for what they do with body slams to cancer on a year-to-year basis, they've earned, promotion of the year. They do so much good. They put so much good out into the community, out into the wrestling world. And man, they can put up a cage in like fucking 5 minutes. That Kemper Brady match, that was Fight Factory's work. They turned up, they put the cage up. We walked back in, and it was like, it was fucking beautiful.
It really was.
It makes sense that they've got to where they've got to as well. Again, we're talking about consistency. I'm not saying they've got to where they've got to because they've been there for years, but it's that consistency that they pump out, but also the level of detail. Particularly, let's shout out Dutch, right? Because it's one of the weirdest conversations that I've ever had. I think it gives you a nice insight into just how much he thinks about wrestling. I worked a really hard to put together 6-man hardcore match with Dutch, and at one point had a conversation with him about how he was going to hit me with a keyboard because he didn't think it made sense for him to hit me keys up. He thought that it would make more sense keys down because they're sharper and it would cause more damage. And I was just thinking, I've not put that much thought into anything that I've ever done. But that's the granular level of detail that he's putting into just one throwaway match that he's come to have. Like, imagine the thought process that they're going through putting together Fight Factory shows. Like, I think it just gives you an insight into how much it matters to them and what they're actually trying to achieve. There's real thought process. And I'm not for a second saying that everyone else. I know Blackheart, we don't throw matches against the wall and hope that it's good. I think everyone does the same thing. But just as an insight into how in depth they probably are going, that's the level of detail that they're hoping to achieve, which probably is what stood them in good stead.
So how did they hit you with the keyboard in the end? Did he just end
He
up
did
going
twice.
to McAvoy he wanted?
Twice, and then whilst he was choking me with the wire, told me which keys had fell out, as if I needed to know.
Vital information.
Yeah.
But
There you
just to sort of expand on an idea that was mentioned earlier of, North's won this 2 years in a row and now isn't in the Final Four. Obviously, it's a public vote. There's no besmirchment or anything like that because North, been going to their shows for years. North have reached a level of quality and are there. They're established as, I'd say, one of the top tier British wrestling products. Are we seeing with sort of promotions getting better and better? Is that promotions who've got there first? Is that just everybody leveling up at the same time? With the influx of talent and places to work, and everything now just seems to be improving of an overall quality. And I think we were all there around the first sort of British wrestling boom that came, about 10 years ago, roughly?
15, about 2010.
Died off a little bit in COVID.
Yeah.
And wrestling's now building back better than ever. But it feels like it feels like an even steeper climb. Just the level now, the base everybody's got to work from, and the level of professionalism and polish and the product that so many companies are putting out from a fan's perspective is unreal. It's like I said before, it's to the point that there is too much choice, and that is a wonderful problem to have.
Yes.
Yeah, I would say it's definitely a case of rising tides raise all ships.
That's what I'm trying to think of.
The sort of the overwhelming boost is there's so many great talent that it means that you almost can't book crap because it's not possible. There's too many people available that are great. I think it's the concern that I would have, and it's why you're seeing different promotions. I do think what we tend to see in wrestling is this tipping point where what tends to happen then at some point is we get too many shows and it dilutes. Like it's finding the right balance between lots of places where people can get lots of reps and get in front of different crowds and sort of learn on the job, but also not having so many places where it sort of takes away from the crowd vibe. You don't want sort of two places running because they can and there's the talent there, and you only get sort of 25, 30 people turn up rather than that one show where there's 70 and you get sort of a better vibe. I think we're in that nice sweet spot at the moment where everything lines up, and I think it is why we're seeing such a boost. And obviously you're going to get the payoff of places like PPW. Sort of, I know it's not been in the last 6-7 months that they've opened, but it's going to take a while for the brand new people. They're starting to really come through now, and again, people are branching out. So I think we are in a real nice sweet spot. It's like a habitat. You just don't want to. I think we all just need to leave it alone. Let's not tinker too much and break it. But I think we are on that upswing, and it's a great place to be. But the worry is that that sometimes peaks and then we get a downswing.
Yeah, I suppose it's kind of the point of oversaturation, isn't it?
Yeah,
you hit a sweet spot where everybody's got the niche, everything's fitting together nicely. There's a good flow through of progression from one promotion into another, and that's what you mentioned the word hierarchy earlier. Or somebody did, hierarchy in British wrestling. Of promotions, and it's great seeing that progression. And then obviously you get someone like a Leon Slater who ends up in WWE, the biggest show, and it's great to see. But yeah, it's one of those where I'm looking at you say that now, and I'm thinking, let's not fuck about, lads. Let's all be sensible.
Yeah, I think what I will say, to be fair, I think wrestling's in a better position. Again, it's easy to say. No one at any point has ever said, "Ooh, this isn't the best time," because it always is. Like, it's the joke about like, "Ooh, medicine's never been so advanced." Like they said that about leeches, but like I think it is in a really good state at the minute. Wrestling, in as much as how promotions are being run, I feel like we've got a nice territory thing going without anyone being overly, oh, you stepped on my toes, and oh, you ran a show on this day. Like Feb 1st, Blackheart's first show of 26. It's also Planet's first show of 26. Sean Only and Sammy Blue will be doing both shows because we had a chat with Planet about, well, we need them. So if we put them on here, can you put them? Because, well, that's what makes sense, doesn't it? Like, whereas I feel like back in the day, even just sort of 7, 8, 9 years ago, there would definitely have been we asked first, so we're not going to move for you. Whereas because the people running shows now, for the most part, were wrestling when that happened and missed out and didn't get to do those things, I feel like the promotions are all in a slightly different place. So hopefully that balance, that habitat will stay how it is for longer. Because, again, the Rising Tides raise all ships thing. Like, if you're not going to get to Guys League, go to Odsal and watch Planet. It's fucking mint. You're going to get to watch good wrestling wherever you go. But go and watch wrestling is the key. Like, I don't care where you go, just go. Like, because we're all guilty of complaining when there's not good wrestling, so don't let it die.
There's a similar thing happening in Leeds on one show day. True Grit and North are both booked to run Leeds on the same day. To be fair, I don't know if either promoter knows this.
No. It's York. That True Grit in York and North are in Leeds.
Is that York? Oh, is that right? Okay. Well, in that case, I want to be even more selfish and ask one of them to run in the morning and one to run in the evening, so that I could go and watch some wrestling in the morning, then come back to York and work the bar at night. Sorry, Nick. I thought that was. I thought that was both Leeds off the top of my head, but thank you for correcting me.
I might not. You got me second guessing myself now because that's what I do. Because I can remember thinking, in my head, I saw it and I was like, again, I love the York ones, but if it's a toss up between seeing North in Leeds and True Grit in Leeds, it would be True Grit. It's True Grit in York. It's the TV tapings, or the North. I'm a bit like, it's not as clear cut now. I'm a bit like, I am swaying more towards seeing North. But yeah,
that's the thing. It's like, but I'd be the same, because even if I wasn't running the bar, am I going to go to the show that's a 25-minute walk from my house, or am I going to hop on a train and even if it's only a 20-minute train, am I going to go to the one in Leeds?
Yeah,
it's just logic. I'm going to go to the one that's near my house.
That's it. Yeah, it's not besmirchment on the promotion, like I say. It's the accessibility. But no, I mean, I think we can sort of say, obviously, we've announced all the winners. We've talked about the final four. We've talked about all the people that were in contention. Another name I just want to shout out that was in the Future Awards was Mr. Candy Stan. He had a banging match against Charles Crowley this year at Wrestle Island. I know he is knuckling down and he's looking to make 2026 an amazing year. He wants to just smash it next year. So keep your eyes on him. He's currently in a feud with Supersonic Sammy Blue at Wrestle Island. I'm sure they're going to get a payoff soon. Candy Stan. He's been at Blackheart a couple of times. Yeah, we've had him over. I think, to be fair, have we had him over twice? I was going to say it's 3 times, but I think one of them was when we were doing the taping. So we got it. We got him sort of 3 matches. Phenomenal. Again, it's such a good guy as well, which has been a real trend of everyone that we've sort of spoken about. But unique and someone working a gimmick in a world where everyone wants to be stone cold in black tights and be really cool. He's gone, nah, I can do something that's interesting and still get in and go. But yeah, real unique, an obvious crowd favorite. It makes perfect sense. But it can go, and I think that's key as well. It's fine having the gimmick, but you need to back it up, and he's fantastic in there. And again, someone that's come through under the we'll put over Sean Only again under that learning. He obviously gets it. Yes, Mr. Only. Gentlemen, that's, I think the takeaway from all this is obviously a massive congratulations to the winners. Massive congratulations. I put it on socials. Massive congratulations to anyone that was named, anyone that wasn't named, anyone who I forgot about that I apologise for. as long as you're doing what you're doing, if you're involved in the business in any way, shape, or form, whether it be a ref, a ring announcer, a cameraman, a photographer, somebody who's editing the reels, working social medias for a promotion, booking the promotion, writing the stories, massive congratulations to everyone. You know, you get to do what you want to do, what you love. You're part of an amazing business, and you're part of just a scene at the minute which is just next level. So yeah, massive shout out to everyone involved who does an awesome job in British wrestling.
And then shout out to everyone that's buying a ticket, everyone that clicks on a video, everyone that comes and watches, but everyone that clicks like, everyone that subscribes, everyone that watches a show and then talks about it. So many people sort of recommending wrestlers and promotions to you that were outside the sort of remit geographically that we're talking about. Like all of those people, all of those sort of like positive, putting the vibes out there. But yeah, anyone that buys a ticket, man, like they really do keep the lights on and keep shit rolling.
I think Mr. Winter said it best. Wrestling's mint, innit?
It is
Mint, innit?
Words to that effect. I might be putting words in your mouth. I can't fucking remember.
It's just mint, innit?
Just mint. There you go. We talked about Work the Left Side merch. I might just get a t-shirt that says wrestling. It's mint.
Mint, innit?
Mint, innit?
It's got to be a black t-shirt, but then everything's mint green lettering.
Has to be green.
Wrestling on the front, mint in it on the back.
Yeah.
Mr. Winter, I'll give you a cut. So good. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Obviously, you know, it's always a blast. Mr. Winter, I've known you for many, many, many years. We've obviously had an episode. I speak to you on a regular basis. We might have some stuff coming up planned for the future. Mate, it's always a genuine pleasure just to get to talk to you. And Dan, you know, we do this, you know, twice a month minimum. It's been a great way to finish the year. You know, this is probably my favorite episode to end the year on. So yeah, you know, I get to talk to you two guys. Would have been nice to talk to Paul, but he's working on late, so not to forget Mr. Paul. But yeah, gentlemen, thank you so much.
Well, mate, thank you to you for what you do for wrestling through the year, like taking the time so regularly to just waffle shit about something you care about. I know it's easy, but the way that you're so keen to promote wrestling is fucking mint. We were talking about rising tides. I think you might be pumping some of that water in that's rising so many tides. You are so good at promoting everything that you physically can. That yeah, I think every show's definitely had a dozen WTLS tickets that have appeared because of being promoting. So yeah, I think you deserve a shout out, mate, as well.
You do. He's not going to take that very well because he
won't accept it. I'll get a shitty message after this. He'll cut this out of there. He'll just finish with the wrestling's mint in it, and then he'll cut the episode, and I'll get a shit ass message off him.
Yeah, I know. He's uncomfortable if you call him a prick. So yeah, Nick, well done, you prick. You've done some right good interviews this year, you wanker.
I'm cold now.
I've cracked the code.
It's like a compliment sandwich, but just two negatives and a positive. I like it. Gentlemen, though, let people know where they can hit you up on the socials. Mr. Winter, obviously, shout out yourself, shout out Blackheart, you know, do all the good stuff.
I don't even know what my socials are. Just it's Blackheart Wrestling UK. Find Blackheart Wrestling UK. I'm usually there. If you need to find me, it's usually that something's gone horribly wrong. But just find Blackheart Wrestling UK.
Dan.
Dan Griffin 21, same as ever. Wrestling related podcast archive, Unbooking the Territory at UTT podcast. All the mad stuff I did over there, from the Monday Night Wars to Tank Abbott's career to World of Sport and all that shit that we did in lockdown. It was a lot of fun though. And as I mentioned, ORW, GPW commentary, myself and Matt Lewis. Matt was kind enough to give me a call when he was in need of a commentator. So yeah, go check them out as a promotion. They're based in Clacton, outside of the remit of this show and these awards, obviously. But yeah, go check them out.
Gentlemen, thank you so much. As always, I will say thank you for watching. Hit like, subscribe, share, comment, all the generic stuff we ask you to do. Keep your eyes peeled. As I said, this sees out this year, but we are starting out. I've already got guests lined up to about middle of March for next year. We've got Cavelli coming on, talking of UKW future stars. We've got obviously the Mr. Tom Campbell. I've announced that, taking great pleasure in announcing that. We've got Shreddy. We've got Zach Wood, ring announcer for Elevation. We've got George Hunter coming back because I did George dirty and I want to do a proper episode with him. Fuck Zoom. Last time I talked to George, I was trying out Zoom. It was a bag of wank, and I feel really, really bad. So I need redemption. I need vindication. I need George on again. So he's coming back, thankfully. And I will be announcing who the guest for the 300th episode very soon. I need to put my glasses on, get my pencil back up, do some artwork. I'm going to try and do a special piece of artwork for the 300th episode. So keep your eyes peeled. But gentlemen, thank you so much. It has been a genuine pleasure.
Same to you, mate. Thanks for having me again.
Not a problem. Remember, always work the left side. Goodbye.